representing the 22 clubs within the two electorates and addressing the impact of the proposed legislation on club operations on the community of southwestern Sydney, on local sports funding opportunities and the dilemma of diversification versus gaming income. Welcome the CEO of Mounties Group, Mr. Greg Pickering.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you. My job tonight is to represent all of the clubs in the two electorates, Fowler and McMahon. And just before I start, I'd just like to acknowledge Chris Hayes for turning up tonight. Tough job, and certainly he is our member for Fowler. I'd just like to take the opportunity to thank him for attending, for supporting, for listening, and for taking our message back to Canberra. We also have one of our senior authorities here from Clubs New South Wales in Peter Newell, and you'll hear from Peter towards the end of the presentations tonight. He's the President of Clubs New South Wales, and I'd just like to acknowledge him for his truly professional leadership of our industry. And as Paul previously mentioned, our board, President Kevin Ingram, and the directors who are sitting here in front of me tonight, I'd just like to acknowledge them not only for their commitment to this this process, but also to the support that they've given us in being able to put this rally on this evening. Of course, there are 25 other clubs, 22 represented here tonight, and to each of those clubs, to their CEOs, to their board members, and to their members, managers and staff, just thank you very much for coming along this evening. It would also be remiss of me not to acknowledge our suppliers, and in the wash-up of getting around the clubs in preparation for this, I think we found that the total number of suppliers that the clubs had was about 11,000. Clearly we share a few of those, but they're the sort of people who get the knock-on effect from whatever happens to us in our clubs. So thank you to those people who have managed to get along here tonight and support us with that as well. The clubs in Fowler and McMahon are all competitors, but we do share. We share 377,500 members. We share 2,754 staff. We share in community funding that equals $7.7 million per year. As I mentioned, we share in local suppliers, over 11,000 of them. We also share 2 federal government representatives, our voices in Canberra. Unlike the debate that's gone on this matter up until now, I know that we can depend on Chris Hayes to represent us to Canberra and not represent Canberra to us. So a bit about the impact on clubs. I guess we need to be careful. We're already starting to see, clubs starting to see where we're making noise about the impact of mandatory pre-commitment. We have to be careful that we don't sound our own death knell. And clearly for some clubs that's not an issue, but for others it certainly is, and it's well and truly on the agenda. There are some clubs who have been refused debt or loans from banks already because of the unknown spectre of what is mandatory pre-commitment. So already we're starting to feel the pinch. So I say we have to be fairly careful that we don't beat this into something that that is going to kill us, but by the same token, if we take our foot off the throttle, we'll probably end up with it anyway. So again, it's a very tough road that we tread to make sure that the clubs remain alive and healthy. So what are we doing? Obviously, we need to be deliberate and very specific about what the impacts are, and I'll attempt to do that in a minute. We need to ensure that the public understand what is the impact. Because at the end of the day, I'm not sure that all of us will understand what this problem, gambling, mandatory pre-commitment, whatever other juggernaut technology term we can dream up for it and confuse everyone even more. I'm just not sure that we'll all get that. But the important message of tonight is what the impact will be on clubs. This is not a gambling issue. It's a political issue. In fact, it has been referred to as what Wilkie wants.